What are the difficulties of not being able to see each other in person?
So I would say that one of our core values is inclusion, and it's very hard because we do a lot of things that are optional to attend. So, for example, every Friday we do a huddle at the end of the day. It's an hour, and it's like activities and kind of totally on the social side. And it's so much harder to see the people who choose not to attend those things, and to understand why. Is there something in what we're doing that there's a reason why people have chosen not to engage with it? Is it their workloads that are super heavy? That was definitely one thing. As we were scaling, we would bring someone on for a certain role, and then we'd blink and suddenly they had a 60-hour work week, and it was very hard to see that, to see what was going on. So I would argue that that's been the hardest part, is really keeping a constant beat on how people are doing.
And how do you do that?
You ask, you ask, you pay attention to certain signs. We One thing we do every 6 months or so is we'll send out a survey, and one of the questions that we ask, what is your favorite part of the work that you're doing? One of the questions we ask is, what do you hate doing? Like, what do you wish you could just snap your fingers and never have to do again? And by policy, we take that list and really try and remove those things. Interestingly, a lot of the time it's manual work. It's things that could be and should be automated in some way, and so it's actually really good feedback for us to know that.
So you're the CEO, you are the leader. How would you define leadership?
I would have trouble defining it generally because I think that people have different styles. So there are four of us co-founders, and we are very different leaders. And we find that in certain circumstances, one is better for a situation than the other. As far as my leadership style goes, it is definitely on the cheerleader side. I would say that I am very good at building enthusiasm, and so the thing that I need to enthusiasm and momentum, and so the thing that I need to constantly check in myself is that what I'm building people up for is moving in a synchronous direction. That it is about where we're going. It's about the purpose of who we are and why we're here. The other thing is, as our company grew, my job became more about leading the leaders. We all of a sudden had this management level, or management layer, and each of those managers having people report to them. So that became actually in some ways a completely different skill, to help support them in supporting others rather than doing so directly. Because the more layers you have, the bigger of a deal it is for, let's say, me to intervene and have a conversation with someone. Oftentimes, it really should be their direct report.